I just had my SJT exam, so I'm going to break down what it was like and how you should revise for it. What's going on, guys? I'm Rohan. I'm currently a final year medical student at Cardiff University. I've been making videos for a little bit so I know exactly what you want and how to break down stuff easily. So let's get into it. The SJT, the situational judgment test. You probably know, you probably watched videos on it already, but it's basically an exam which tests your situational judgment around a case. You're going to be given rating questions, multiple choice questions, and a ranking question. The rating questions will be giving you a scenario. They'll give you a phrase, and then you have to say whether or not a phrase is very important, kind of important, slightly not important, or definitely not important, or very appropriate, slightly inappropriate, or very inappropriate. The multiple choice questions, it's going to be a passage. It's going to ask you for the 3 best, most appropriate, most important considerations to be made. Finally, the ranking questions, a scenario, then it's going to be giving you a list either from A to E or A to F. List these options from most appropriate to least appropriate, or most important to least important, vice versa. I'm going to tell you how to revise for it because I'm not going to lie, everything online is a bit tricky. There's loads of different resources. So if you stumble across my video, thank you very much. And let's get cracking on. So you're probably wondering, should you go to revision courses? That's probably the first thing that you're doing because everyone tells you, oh my God, these revision courses are so good. So in reality, those revision courses are as good as you make it out to be. I went to one by the MDU, the Medical Defense Union. They go through the key GMC criteria which come up usually in the exam, and they go over scenarios and then go over the answers. Now, there's a couple of things you have to bear in mind. Number one, they don't know what's going to come up in the exam. So all of the examples that they give might not even be relevant. Number two, because it's a situational judgment exam, the answers can be very subjective, and you usually want to follow what the UKFPO guidelines or the past papers have given you, because if you go by anything else, then it might just make you confused. And number three, I found the more revision that I did for the situational judgment exam, the worse I did at questions. So I don't know. Take everything with a pinch of salt. Should you get books? The quick answer, hell nah, man. I have bought so many books for this exam, and you know how many I've used? Zero. Now, if anybody wants these books, this one or this one, then let me know in the comments below and I'll send them out to you. But I'm not gonna lie, you do not need any extra books or any extra questions. They are so useless and a waste of your money because the answers to them are not relevant and don't go specifically to the UKFPO guideline as the ones of the practice paper. So basically, don't use them. Simple. So what should you do, and what have other people and myself found useful? There are 3 online mock papers: practice paper 1, practice paper 2, and then the sample paper. I just swore at you guys, sorry. Practice paper 1 allows you to go into depth, and then you can kind of understand the style of questions. You can understand whether or not you need to practice on timing. You can do all this stuff, but learn the answers in the sense that learn the concepts behind them. Indulge in the concept, learn it and grasp it. Answer all the questions, obviously. Try and do it to time because timing is very difficult to manage in this exam. Practice paper 1 and 2, these only include the ranking and the multiple choice questions. Then the sample paper, so the third paper, which I suggest you do last, it includes the new style rating questions like I described before. So this is what I did, and I'm not going to say that I'm amazing because I haven't got my results, but this is what I did and other people did as well, so don't worry. You do the first paper, not to time. You go through the paper, understand the concept, try and understand why they've come up with the answers in that order, why have they chosen those 3 multiple choice questions, why have they said that why drinking alcohol whilst being a doctor on a shift is irresponsible, although you should probably know that already because, you know, it's a bad thing. Patient safety, bad. And then after you've done that, then you can do the second paper. You can try and do it to time this time. I found that this is the best way to make sure that you manage your time in the exam. Otherwise, you might be stuck on a question and then not finish it. And the worst thing you can do in this exam is not finish the questions. I found that taking 40 minutes for the rating questions, 35 minutes for the multiple choice question, and then the full 70 minutes for the ranking questions was optimal. Like I said before, make sure that you don't miss out any question. This is the reason why. Although for the rating and the multiple choice questions, you get 0 marks if you answer any of them wrong. If you miss out any of the ranking questions, it's a bit silly really, because if you get the first and the last one right, then you're minimum guaranteed 16 out of 20 on that one question, because each of the A, B, C, D, E are classed as 4 marks. And if you want more information as to how the marking goes down, then I have a couple links down below which might help you so that I don't confuse you even more than I was confused for this exam. So basically, what have I told you? Don't buy books. Can do courses if you want to, especially if you don't feel like you're going to be revising for this exam properly. A course might, you know, kick you up the arse to make you start revising. And then finally, just do the past papers. Past papers are gold and key. And then finally, just to make yourself aware of the system, Pearson, which is the testing company and the agency which you will use when you're taking the exam, similar to the ones that you do if you've ever done a driving theory test. Pearson company have provided you with an online version, a mock version of the exam, so you can get used to how to actually take the exam online before you get to the place, so that you're not stumbling and you're not getting confused when you're trying to do this exam. Because I'm not gonna lie, when you get into the exam, you're tired, you're stressed, and the last thing you want to be doing is trying to figure out how to use the Pearson system. The only negative side to that is that it doesn't have any answers, so you can do all the questions if you want to, but you ain't gonna know whether or not you did it right. So just use the online practice paper to get your bearings on this exam. I was gonna insert a clip of me going into the Pearson Center, doing my ID and everything like that, so you can see how bad I looked on my ID when I was 18 years old. But they asked me to switch off my phone, and I obviously wasn't gonna be carrying my camera into there, because that's a bit bait. Looks a bit suspicious, so I didn't get any clips. I hope everyone who is watching this does great in their SJT. Okay, enough with that sappy stuff. Once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, let's go.